60 men all lost at sea, all of them drunk except...
Well, it's that time of the year again. It's Halloween. But for those of you who might be listening to this now, it's probably already November. It's probably already the first week in November. I decided to draw Garfield the Pirate. He's getting ready to go trick-or-treating. He really wants to get that candy, 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 candy. I remember this cartoon from when I was growing up back in 1986. There was a Garfield's Halloween Special or Garfield's Halloween Adventure. Basically, it's about Garfield and his friend Odie, the dog Odie, who dress up as pirates and go trick-or-treating for Halloween and get tons and tons of candy. I mean, that's the one night of the year where your parents would let their kids go out and get lots of horrible, unhealthy food, junk food, candy, stuff that is bad for your teeth, makes you feel sick to your stomach. That's the one time of the year that parents would let their kids go out and get all these unhealthy foods. And of course, the kids would try to eat it all too and get sick. Well, I don't remember getting sick or eating all the candy at once. I'm sure that some of us probably ate the candy and in moderation, not all at once. Moderation means balanced, gradually, not all at once. But yeah, that's the one time of the year where parents will let their kids go out and get junk food. Nowadays, I don't know what goes on. I know that there is trick-or-treating, and I know that we have Halloween parties and things like that. But things have changed in some way since I remember growing up for Halloween. And about this cartoon, so Garfield and his dog friend Odie, they go trick-or-treating, get a lot of candy, and they end up going in this rowboat across this lake or river to this haunted house where this scary old man lives, telling them a scary old story about some pirates, about how a long time ago there were pirates that were hiding a treasure underneath that house. And it was the 100-year anniversary of when they would come back looking for the treasure. As ghosts, of course. And when I'm watching this cartoon, I'm thinking, yeah, that is pretty scary, ghost pirates. But then I'm thinking, wait a minute, how on earth would a pirate ship 100 years ago, or any time, make it into the middle of Indiana? Garfield's from Indiana, by the way. He's from a small town. Well, the creator of Garfield himself, the writer, the cartoonist who drew Garfield originally, is from a town called Muncie, Indiana. It has a university there called Ball State University. I almost went there, but instead I went to Indiana University. Long story, side note. So, Muncie, Indiana, it's a small town. There are no lakes, no rivers. It's a suburban area with lots of cornfields, lots of farmland, neighborhoods, small town. So what I was thinking was, okay, how would a ghost ship, a pirate ship, ever make it into the middle of Indiana? Well, it's a cartoon. Yeah, we know it's a cartoon, but they're ghost pirates, as I remember. So, okay, well, maybe they can do anything they want. They can fly across the land in their ghost ship. So sure enough, Garfield and Odie are scared out of their wits, listening to the scary old man's scary story about the ghost pirates. And then, of course, the ghost pirates arrive. They arrive in their big white floating ghost ship. And the ghost pirates come into the house, go underneath the house, bring out their treasure chest. Of course, Garfield and Odie are hiding during all this. Odie, by the way, that reminds me of a Korean word. Odie, like odiosoyo, like where? I wonder where the writer got the name Odie for that dog. I wonder if he's ever been to South Korea. I wonder if he's ever learned Korean. Funny, I know. The things we learn, right? So Garfield and Odie are hiding, then they finally the pirate ghosts see them and they start running and they run to the rowboat, try to escape, very narrowly escape, almost losing all their candy in the process. Somehow, I think what happened was the old man got away. He took their rowboat with them, so Odie and Garfield had to swim in the lake to get away from the ghost pirates. And miraculously, they made it to land. They made it to the shoreline. And fortunately, fortunately, they made it out alive, but also fortunately for Garfield, because, Garfield cares a lot about food and candy and eating. He found that the 2 bags of candy that they had were still in the boat. The old man didn't want the sugar candy and all that stuff. He doesn't care about that stuff, so he left. He just left the candy in the boat. And so that was good. That was great for Garfield and Odie. Of course, Garfield wanted to take all the candy, but then because Odie helped save his life, he said, okay, I'll give you half the candy, reluctantly. But that was a nice Halloween story. That was a nice cartoon. I recommend you watch it. You could probably watch it on YouTube. So just look up Garfield's Halloween Adventure. It's about 20 minutes or something like that. Not very long. But October, it's always been my favorite month of the year. I loved it. And because I like the atmosphere of October, the dryness of the air, it's not so hot, and you get to see the leaves changing colors on the trees. So it's a really nice time of the year. I mean, I always had fond memories of October because when I was growing up in Indiana, my grandmother, who lived outside of the city district, she lived outside of the city area. So where she lived, there were lots of trees, lots of leaves. So you know what that means. Lots of leaf raking and lots of yard work to do. Now, a lot of people just get a leaf blower. They just get a leaf blower and blow it into a pile in a box or put it in bags, and the district management or whoever it is, the county cleanup crew comes out and picks up all the leaves. But I remember it was fun back in the day because we'd lake, I'm talking about a lake now. We'd rake up, R-A-K-E, rake up all the leaves into a big pile. And then you could jump in it, you could hide in it. And of course, it was exciting when we would burn the leaves, because that's what a lot of people used to do back then in my grandmother's neighborhood. They used to rake up all the leaves and burn the leaves. And that was kind of fun too. There's something mesmerizing about watching a fire or a fireplace or things burn in a pile of leaves. Something mesmerizing. But it was fun because it wasn't usual. Because where my parents lived, where I lived with my parents, we lived more into the city. We lived more into the city district, into that territory. So there were no leaf burning. There was no leaf burning in that area. The management or the city maintenance would come out and clean up the leaves, or people that had leaf blowers would do it, or rake it. But I liked raking leaves. It was fun. It was kind of a workout, and it was nice. It was different. It was just something different to do. But I always loved the smell of autumn because it's that dryness, that crispness in the air. And of course, I love the appearance of all the leaves on the trees changing colors and everything like that. It's nice. Red, blue, Not blue. What a minute. Blue? Blue leaves? No. Red, yellow, brown, orange, and some green still. There may be some blue leaves. I don't know. But, yeah, it's, for me, that is candy. Or you could say eye candy. Eye candy means something that's attractive to look at, something that you love to see. You could describe anything that you like to look at as eye candy. And so that's what I remember of autumn, and those are my sentimental memories of October and autumn and during that time of the year. Something I've noticed over the years, and you may have noticed this too, some of you, depending on where you live in the world. When I was growing up and I would go to department stores, you didn't see Halloween accessories or decorations or products until maybe right before October. But I remember in the last, I don't know, ever since maybe 2006 or earlier, when I would go into department stores or drugstores or pharmacies, I noticed that Halloween decorations and products were for sale even in the beginning of August. And I understand, it's business. It's, they want to get as much sold as possible. It's commercialization too. I mean, originally, Halloween, by the way, Halloween is not really a holiday. Halloween is more of a festival. And if you go back in time, in history, different countries like Europe, places in Europe and England, Ireland, they had their own kind of versions of a Halloween festival of some sort. And over the centuries, over time, as a lot of those people from other countries came to the United States, what is now known as the United States, they would bring their traditions and their festivities with them. So now, well, back then, when it first started, Halloween was more treated like a festival. But now, I think in the last 20 years or so, Halloween and other holidays like Christmas are highly commercialized. They're highly commercialized and it's a business. And I understand, I get it. So that's why you're going to see Halloween decorations and products even as early as August, the beginning of August, before my birthday. My birthday is around August 29th. It is August 29th, not around, sorry. It is on August 29th. So I'm not used to that, or I wasn't used to that when I first saw that. I was surprised. So there you have it. So you go, you're not even finished with summer yet. It's still summer break or summertime, and you're already seeing Halloween products. So the commercialization, let me repeat that. The commercialization of the holidays it's been going on more and more as time passed. I mean, if I talk to my parents, they'd say, oh no, we'd never see any kind of Halloween products or decorations or appliances or anything, not until October. So what's up with that, right? So I think it's more of a thing that's been going on in the last 20 years. And then, of course, before Halloween even gets here, once you get into the month of October, nowadays, maybe even in the last 10 years or so, you go into a department store, a pharmacy, or a drugstore, or any place that sells holiday products, and you go in there, and now in the month of October, you're going to see Christmas decorations for sale, Christmas products. I guess they want to make sure that everybody buys and starts buying all their products early. Now, there's this other thing that's been going on around the world, this thing called Black Friday. I think it started in the United States years ago, where they had a special day sometime before Thanksgiving where they put all these items on a huge sale, on a huge discount. So you'd have crowds and crowds of people rushing in, crowds of people fighting over products, grabbing things off the shelves. It looks like it's just wild. I never went. I would never go to one of these events because there's nothing I really want to buy that I'm that desperate for. I mean, yeah, there are things that I would like to get and shop for, but the discount and waiting in line and standing in that crowd and going through like that, it's not worth all that for me. Some people it may be worth it for whatever reason. So that's the commercialization of the holidays. It means to make as much business and sell as much as you can, as quickly as you can, as soon as you can, and communicate and reach out to as many people as possible. And I don't want to say short a time as possible. They start early to make sure, a lot of people start preparing. Now, I think it's a great thing to buy gifts, Christmas presents early, do early Christmas shopping, because it is a chore. It's something that a lot of parents and people would like to get out of the way. So I get that. I understand that. But yeah, Halloween. It is one of my most favorite times of the year because I just like the atmosphere. I like the appearance of the leaves on the trees. And it's fun. People get to dress up and, be a different person or a character or anybody they want. And I get it. You're right. Some might think, oh, Halloween's for kids. But there's lots of adults that like to have events too because they want to be a kid again. It's a time where adults can be a kid again. It's a time when grown-ups can have fun like a kid again. So that's what, as I look here, as I'm drawing this Garfield, Pirate Garfield, trick-or-treating Garfield, Halloween Garfield, Halloween Field. You decide what you want to call it. I really enjoy and I make really good associations with Halloween because of growing up. Now, on a side note, on a serious note here, because I'm living in Korea, this is the 1-year anniversary of the Itaewon crowd disaster that took place, where lots of young lives were lost in the Itaewon district because of crowded spaces and it was just something that went out of control and nobody expected. And it's had a huge impact here in Korea. It's had a huge impact on the image of Halloween in Korea because there's a lot of mixed feelings about it. And also a lot of businesses in Itaewon were affected by that, and they feel shame to operate their business and sell their business and be there. They just don't want to be there because of that, because of what happened. So, and of course, I want to send my condolences to the people and the parents and everyone who was affected by this. So, as a serious side note, I would like to put this out there. And for those of you who are listening to this now, I want you to have a safe week. I hope you have enjoyed your weekend and enjoyed this beautiful autumn weather wherever you are. enjoy this weather and go on a hike, take a walk, meet some friends. Don't eat too much candy or too many sweets. And we'll be in touch. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk again soon.